Hey, have a seat. It's story time. Welcome to my garden. This has been our first year with this setup on our patio, and I'm excited to tell you all about it, from start to finish, of how we built it, what we've done throughout the season, and how my plants have grown. I'll be honest, there have been a lot of fails and a lot of wins. I'm going to tell you all of it, so hopefully you do not make the same mistakes I did. I have learned a lot. Yeah, but I'm excited to take everything I've learned into next year and have more produce out of this garden. Let's get into it. This is where it all began. Our patio looked like this until the end of March, ever since we had moved into the house last October, at least half a year. I drew up my dream for this patio. My vision was drawn to scale. Then my amazing husband made his 3D model thing that my, engineer husband can do. And then he built it. The tiered planter turned out exactly how I envisioned. And he built this large planter. I know a lot of you are probably going to ask, we left the bottom completely open, and we did end up covering the base with landscaping fabric over a type of square chicken wire, so there would be drainage. And it looks amazing. He thought it was so sturdy that, he could just jump on it. All was well. I made my final draft of my plan, and we got our soil delivered to our driveway, and we carried a whole bunch of 5-gallon buckets through our house to fill up the planters. It honestly worked well. I bought some plants from local nurseries, and oh my gosh, look at the trough with its first planted baby plants. I love them. Dang, that soil looked dark when we first got it. And the tiered planter. So pretty. On the bottom tier, I planted some herbs and some lettuce from seed. And the tier above that is just lettuce with some from seed, some not. In the next tier, I planted some carrots and rosemary. And on the top tier is strawberries. For some reason, the large planter box looks small in this picture, but it's massive, okay? So, I planted dill and cilantro and peas and cucumbers. Planted! Woohoo! We finished planting on April 26th, and then on May 3rd, I noticed my first sprouts! This is the lettuce. Then over a week later, we're now in the beginning of May. This is May 6th. And look how much my plants have grown. They're so cute. This is an update on the tiered planter. Obviously, some more lettuce is growing. My lemongrass. Look how amazing everything looks. Like, oh my gosh, they're getting bigger. Did I ever tell you about my onion pots? These are my onion pots. And did I even tell you about my lemongrass? I don't think I did, but that was my lemongrass. And zucchini is planted in this pot. I want to have it grow up the stake. This is dill. Look at the baby dill. They're so cute. Okay, gonna slow down for a second to do a walking tour of the same day. And I just wanted to say, yeah, you probably noticed that a lot of these pictures and videos are in portrait mode because I did not know I was going to start a YouTube channel in just a couple months after this. And I'm glad I did. So please excuse a lot of just pictures and portrait mode for now. I just still want to share all of these moments and recount a little bit of a video and picture journal, per se, of how much my garden has grown from start to finish. So, this is how it started. It started with just a few pictures, a few plants, and a few videos every now and then. I kept it up all the way to show you towards the end what my garden has looked like all season. I'm very proud of it, even though not everything succeeded the way that I wanted it to. I've learned a lot, and I have a better understanding of what works in my space and how I can use it better next year. That's what any gardener does, right? And that's the backstory. Now, admire my peas that are flowering. So awesome. Here's my cucumber that I planted from seed. Gonna move the label now that it's popped up and needs some sun. The dream is hopefully for plants to go up that trellis. The strawberries. Oh my gosh. First strawberries. So hyped. This is the strawberries on May 9th. And just a quick overview of the growth of the rest of the tiered planter. Wow, now looking back at my lemongrass, it was so small. It's not just my imagination. My zucchinis are sprouting. My cucumbers really do be looking amazing right here. More sprouts, including the cilantro that decided to arrive. Adorable. Remember how my cucumber just popped out of the ground? Well, it has a few leaves now that it grew in just the span of 3 days. Just pan over real quick. Sprouts. I love my sprouts. Yeah, had to know. See that floppy lettuce? I can figure out how to get it to just stand up on its own, and every time I watered it, it'd just flop over and be like, help me. I'm like, I can't. Yeah. Another peek at the berries. One day later, and my zucchini is already trying to break out from its seed coating. Everything else. Oh my gosh, my peas have started to appear. Strawberries still going strong. I'm just so proud. Now 2 days after that, we're on May 12th now. It's crazy how fast plants grow in the early days after planting. Skip to May 21st. You can see so many carrot sprouts on that second to top tier. Beautiful. And we got the first pepper blossom. And the first cherry tomatoes are growing. Oh, look how short my tomato plant was at the beginning of the year. This is my other tomato, the early girl variety. Then the base of my peas started to fry and crisp up a little bit. But my baby cuke is trying to grow. And my bigger cuke. First sign of a cilantro leaf. It's in there. Do you see it? And my little zucchini plant. Now we're to the last day of May, May 31st, Memorial Day. Here's the update. Gosh, my poor peas. Oh. Then a quick look on June 7th, a week later. Not a huge bunch of difference other than my cucumbers are trying to flower. Super exciting. And you can see the tiny little cucumber forming in there. A few days later, on June 12th, my tomatoes are looking much taller. And the first pepper is forming! And a closer peek at the tomatoes. Everything is making progress. It's so awesome. And these lettuce leaves are starting to look frilly and get their red color. These lettuce sprouts are chaotic. Then here's my basil and my thyme, and oregano is on the right. But I'm angry that something started destroying my zucchini, and my cucumbers are getting attacked. But the dill, look at their tiny little frilly leaves popping out the top, and the cilantro is getting taller. But somehow they are already bolting. It's still June 12th. The peas over there, yeah. I did take a video on this day too, apparently. And I'm gonna shut up for a minute, so just watch. Oh look, I finally decided to film in landscape mode. You're welcome. But aren't these little twirly tendrils on the cucumbers so adorable? I finally arrived to tell you about a different day, June 15th. My tomatoes started turning orange. Heck yeah! And we finally got some cute patio furniture so we can sit and enjoy our garden anytime we want. June 16th. Look at the yellowing happening on the leaves of my cucumbers and zucchini. RIP! A week later, June 23rd, I decided most of my peas were dead and pulled them up, so I left one for some reason. And my cucumber, baby cucumber, is stressed and trying to flower but also die at the same time.
Oh no.
Everything else is looking mostly alright, and my tomato is much bigger. Look how cute everything is. Except this! Welcome to July, the first day of July. And my cucumber leaves are crying out to me saying, "Is death upon us?" And I say, "I don't know." Like, what the heck? Everything else decides death is not happening yet. So everything else, including specifically at you cucumbers and zucchini, need to get your crap together. Maybe I need to add that lettuce over there to the list as well. But look, these peppers Yes, those leaves are starting to curl because some pest decided to invade their space, but they ain't giving up. They ain't yelling and frying up and dropping to the face of the earth. So we're just gonna sit and admire my strawberry blooms. And we took a family picture. The first early girl tomato gets her own individual portrait. 3 days later, a side note to mention that I think that I have black aphids on my lettuce. Look at the chunky strawberry! And there's a bug on my tomato bloom. Oh my gosh, cucumber, you're being so dramatic. Baby cucumber has passed away. We will have a funeral. And the dill is bolting. My suspicion is that everything is getting too hot in this side of my garden because bolting happens when the plant is nearing the end of its life cycle. But that shouldn't already be happening so soon, but could have been caused by the intense heat that happens in July where I live in Zone 7A. Here's a video update of July 11th with where all my plants are at. This tomato is getting bigger. And there's another baby one starting up here, some blossoms as well. And I've already been harvesting my first tomatoes, and more are coming from my cherry tomato plant. This plant is going all over the place. I'm gonna have to make a video about this one alone. Oh, it's been fun though. Peep the pepper starting to ripen, which, side note, I think was also accelerated by heat. The plant got stressed and decided to ripen early. But we've got new blossoms. There is hope for the future. Better look at that little tiny pepper. These tiny little strawberries decided to ripen, but we're gonna get some more. Ugh, rip those carrots. This one's doing okay. Rosemary is fine. Gross. Wow, this lettuce is getting eaten as well by something. I think these just are not getting enough sunlight down here. But the basil and the thyme and the oregano are doing pretty okay. So you see the life, and you see the death, and those that are just hanging in there. Fast forward 10 days to July 21st. Admire the berries, bigger than ever. I decided it was time to try to harvest this little guy. Looking orange and disgusting. Thanks a lot, pepper plant. Let's hope for this guy. I think it was mites. Look at that little webbing that happened in there. The next day, the strawberries are ripe! Another day later. Time to cut off all of the death on this zucchini. We're gonna try to give it a chance. I cut off the brown edges of the leaves so that they don't waste energy from the plant, and hopefully more photosynthesizing will happen. Clean the shears. And do the same to my cucumber, which I attempted to trellis. I killed my flower. Dear Garden Diary, we've now arrived to August. It's August 7th, and look at my ladybug that's in my garden. This brings me much happiness. At the end of July, we installed an irrigation system in my garden. You can watch the video tutorial, I'll link it here. My poor zucchini plant is not doing too hot, I think because it was too hot outside. My cucumber is fighting for survival. Look at those blossoms. Here's the dill. Still dying, by the way. Marigolds are struggling. Peppers are alright. We have 2 hanging on, and they're not ripening early this time. Notice how I'm doing landscape videos? Because guess what? In July, I started my YouTube channel! Woohoo! So I was like, maybe I'll add these sometime, maybe not. So started filming this way to record my progress. You're welcome. I got you. On this day, I also filmed a video of me teaching you guys how to prune tomato plants and not make a crazy looking one like I did this year. So stay tuned for that, coming soon. The lone carrot. Behold, the one that survived. And the other variety. Maybe we'll get to eat them someday, and they won't be 1 inch long. Still need to chop the lettuce. And hoping that those sprouts will someday not be sprouts. Next day is arriving, and I'm going to show you something I'm doing right about now. This lettuce died about a month ago, and I haven't taken the time to cut it up. But let's behead the lettuce, as in chop it and throw it out, because it's all bolted and nasty. It looks like this plant has black aphids. Very nasty. It's completely infested. This was my butter crunch lettuce. Time for it to go. Ew. Maybe it was just caterpillar poop. These worms. That is gross. Time warp to a month later. This is September 10th. Trying to decide about my lemongrass. I moved it over here because I thought it was getting a little bit too crispy in the sun, but now I think it's just browned more. Is it the temperature? Is it wanting more sun? Or is it getting watered too frequently now that I have it on an irrigation system? Not sure. But having everything on drip line has been a huge help. I think it's honestly been a boost and some growth, even though it might not be apparent. I am definitely looking forward to next year and seeing how well my plants grow from starting off with very consistent watering. I felt like I was watering consistently. I'd go out every day, but with the weather and some days being hot, I maybe didn't water enough. So I think that's been the hardest thing, has been the water. The other thing is, if you can see, it's kind of not getting much sun at this moment. I mean, it is an overcast, cloudy day, but there are times that this patio gets a lot of sun. It's just a bummer that my patio faces northwest. But that didn't stop me from planting and giving it a shot, because guess what? They grow anyway. Maybe not as much, but they did. Look at this little pepper. It's starting to ripen, and now I'm confused because this is orange. And I ordered a pepper that's supposed to be yellow. And I remember this plant putting off an orange pepper earlier, and now this one's shaped differently. So did I accidentally mix up the tags, or did the nursery mix up the tags? Or is that pepper going to turn yellow eventually? I don't know. But look at that amazing view up there in the sky. And my tomatoes. We got 3 tomatoes on this plant now. I believe we harvested and ate the first tomato by now. I didn't record that, but it was good. I need to mention that some marigolds started to bloom again. I love the bright color of these flowers. Those ones are dead. But this one is back. That one is dead. But there are baby ones that are growing around it from the little seeds that came out of their flowers. Look at our onions. I'm not sure why so many shriveled up. I'm suspicious if I've overwatered them now. Ah! It's so hard to figure it out. Let's take a peek at this cucumber plant, which is the only one left surviving in this big planter box that we made. There are a few baby cucumbers. There's still some damage on the leaves, and I think it's still mites or something. I don't know. It's so hard to figure it out. Nothing else is left there, and we're gonna figure out how we want to set up that irrigation next year. And zucchini. Can you believe that? Zucchini in the end. What time is it? September? Yeah, they haven't even grown anywhere. They should be massive by now. One final update. It's September 30th, the end of September, and it's a beautiful rainy fall day. And I just had to show you how pretty the garden looks in the rain. It makes me so happy because the colors get more vibrant with the contrast of the dark soil and the leaves embracing all that rain. You can see my peppers have both started to ripen. This one is orange. I don't know why it stayed shaped like that and didn't turn into a bell pepper shape. The other one, I guess it's like a light yellow orange. We'll see when we harvest it. The raindrops on my tomatoes are making me happy. This tomato plant has struggled this season, but it's producing. It's hanging on. Oh, just enjoy the sound of that rain. So pretty. Tiny baby cucumber happening there. Will it actually grow up so I can harvest it? Zucchini is dead, basically. Well, when we harvest, we're gonna get tiny, tiny little onions. I'm still gonna taste them, see how it goes. Oh, peaceful rainy day. Embrace it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story time. It's been a fun journey. I'm going to give you updates of what I end up harvesting as temperatures start cooling down with this fall season. I've learned a lot. I want to know your first year garden fails and wins. So jump into the comments and just imagine that you are sitting across from me and we're having story time like it's your time to tell a story of what your garden has done. I want to hear about it. Can't wait. Please share. And if you haven't yet, subscribe because my channel is full of a lot of fun garden content and houseplant chaos. I'm staring at this large stink bug just crawling on my wall over there. Actually, it's just a moth. As long as it's outside, it's fine. These bugs are enjoying their best life. As long as they're not pests, I'm not mad about it, which is crazy. I've come a long way. Well, thanks for listening to my story. Till next time, keep blooming and stay groovy.